Hi, my name is Ivan Tuttle, and I died once and went to hell and heaven and I came back. One of the experiences that I had when I was in heaven is I got to see how the earth was formed, and I got to watch how the Spirit of God came down and hovered over the waters of the deep. And I watched this happen, and one of the things that people don't realize is that God's glory was all over this water. And when God's glory gets on something, it never leaves. And all of the water that we have here on the earth now was here back then. So one of the most amazing things that people don't realize is God's glory is on every drop of water that's here, because God's glory never leaves. It never goes away. I mean, you could ask Moses that. He had to wear a veil over his face after he just barely glimpsed at God. So when you start thinking about this, every ounce of water here on this earth has had the glory of God on it, has had the presence of God on. So when you have that, you start understanding things. We can look at different things about water. We can look at the living water. Jesus is the living water. We can look at the fact that we baptize people in water. We can see the pool of Bethesda when the water was stirred. We have seen people that have been baptized. When we go to baptize people now, people get healed. I mean, people with stage 4 cancer come up out of the water, and a week later, they go to their doctors and the doctor says, "Hey, your cancer's cured." We've seen people that were demon-possessed come up out of the water. No more are they demon-possessed. Their lives are changed. We're watching these things happen on a continual basis every place I go when we do the baptisms. But what I try to get people to understand is that God's glory is on the water. Whereas a place that you probably, and if you think about it, you realize that there's so many times, most people when they're taking a shower is when they start realizing things about God. When they start having experiences with God is when they're in the water. And this is happening all over the world. People are starting to report these things that are coming in. It's not that there's anything special about the water, except for the fact that God came down and He made our water different than any water that's out there any place else in the universe. That's why scientists are always trying to find out, is there water on the planet? If there's water on the planet, there's got to be life. And they'll go there and they'll find some drops of water someplace and they bring it back. There's zero life in it because it didn't have God's Spirit, the glory of God, on it. Water reflects, water absorbs, and water has memory. And every ounce of water we have today is super special. Think about it the next time you have a drink of water.